We've got a little football IQ to play. Let's go ahead and get rolling. What dumb stuff did you see over the weekend? It's brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design. They want to be your jeweler. Looking for affordable game day jewelry? How about the Fire Opals, the Tennessee tradition? RickTerryJewelry.com. RickTerryJewelry.com. So what do we got? Dumb decisions over the weekend. Were there any from the Tennessee-Georgia game, Caleb?
No, because it was a 38-10 game, and I don't think any coaching decision would have helped Tennessee win that game. So my football IQ rule as a coaching move has to actually cost you the game, and
Okay.
so
I don't have my sound effect, so we're going to go scale of 1 to 10. How stupid? 10 being incredibly stupid. 1 just kind of Forrest Gumpish. He's getting by. All right. What do you got, Caleb? What's number 1?
Everybody's favorite coach on this show, Billy Napier, the detail-oriented Billy Napier. The 4th and 17 was a dumb play call, but because I don't understand why you have a guy in spy, but that's actually not the worst call. The worst decision was Florida trailing Mizzou 31-30, gets down to the Missouri 17 with 2.5 minutes left. Missouri has all 3 timeouts, and Billy Napier in his mind is thinking, let me go ahead and play for the field goal here and go for the win. So he runs it 3 times and kicks the field goal. By the way, even with that, one of his running backs runs out of bounds on 3rd down. You got to get a touchdown in a shootout like that. You can't give Missouri the ball back with a minute 40 left and 2 timeouts and only needing a field goal in a shootout like that to win. That's one of the dumbest decisions I think I've ever seen.
I saw that. Totally agree. John, is Tennessee better off if Florida keeps Billy Napier for a couple more years or fires him tomorrow?
That's hard to say because Billy Napier's recruiting well. I think you got to look at Florida's program is how well will Billy Napier set up the next coach for success.
Fair enough.
I think maybe Tennessee would be better off if they just kicked him to the curb right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing some rumors that some of those cats are about to jump. We'll see.
So he's the Ron Zook of Florida right now is what we're saying.
And yes, I mean, he set up the table for Urban Meyer to win a championship. I'm sure Urban Meyer said, hey, thanks for the players, Ron. When I need a special teams coach, I might give you a call.
Portions of the program brought to you by Don Self. Customer service still matters. State Farm agent Don Self and his team take customer service seriously. For well over 40 years, they built their business and reputation on taking care of their customers. I love it. Collegedale, Ottawa, as well as the greater Chattanooga area, customer service still matters. As we talk football IQ, the smartest IQ you can make if you're in the Chattanooga areas, look for Don Self. Google him, and he will take care of you. What's up next there, Caleb?
All right, up next, I believe I like him as a head coach, but Mark Stoops, Kentucky, South Carolina. I don't know if you saw this, John, over the weekend. It was a 17-14 game. In a close game like that, in a low-scoring game, I understand not being aggressive and things like that. But I think you always play for points at the end of the half if there's a chance. So there was about a minute 15 left. South Carolina brought up a 4th down, minute 15 at the end of the first half. And it's 4th down. Kentucky has 3 timeouts. There's a penalty. They elected not to take a timeout and to allow the 10-second runoff so they could get the ball back with 13 seconds left on the clock and play for halftime. I'm sorry, if you have 2 or 3 timeouts and the other team's punting the ball to you and there's over a minute left, you use that timeout because you don't know what could happen. You could get a blocked punt, a good return, something. But Mark Stoops decided with a minute 15 left and 2 timeouts, I'm going to play for halftime and no points.
Yeah, that's, I think the best days of the Mark Stoops era at Kentucky have come and gone. I think, he's done a nice job there. But this is they've hit their ceiling. This is as good as it's get there. Louisville's coming on strong. The SEC is going to get tougher. They need to just move to the MAC. They really do.
What's sad is that's not the worst idea.
Wait, what we didn't do the scale for Napier's call, and now we got to do it for Stoops' call. What scale of 1 to 10 for Napier?
Well, let's go back to Napier first because I hate it when coaches start lining things up for a field goal. I don't care if the other team has no timeouts left. I've seen too many teams go 40, 45 yards in 40 seconds with no timeouts. You just can't try and score a touchdown.
Yeah, to me that was a 10.
That's a 10.
So how would you judge that, Dave, if it were a 10?
As dumb as it comes. If you don't know that,
Is there something wrong with your system?
No, 10 is the dumbest.
Okay.
No,
What
he's
would you-
We're missing something.
the sound
here.
effects. He's talking about the sound effects. That we
Oh,
usually
yeah.
have.
That's not
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
Thanksgiving
It's
week.
the
Come on,
highlight
John.
of my show, but I forgot about it.
We'll have them back. We'll have them back for you next week. And what about
Well, John, what do you think of Napier? 10, 1? Where do you scale the Napier call?
Well, I think it's a 10, but that's a pet peeve of mine. The way college football is now, teams go so fast, so far. This idea, and you don't even know if the guy's going to make the field goal. I hate it when you say, "Well, we'll set up."
I'm actually have to do 9 for that because there are some dumber ones coming. And like as dumb as what Billy Napier did there's some actual dumber ones on this segment that are coming. So for Stoops, I go about 5.
Looking forward to it. Go ahead.
What do y'all think for the Stoops one? I got about 5 to 6 for Stoops. I believe you always play for points, but Dave's convinced me of maybe we don't know all the situations of Kentucky at that moment at halftime.
I go 5.
I think that's perfect because 5 or 6 is how many wins Kentucky's going to be getting routinely in the years to come.
Oh, Lord. All right. Our returning champion, guys, who has become a mainstay on this program, Mario Cristobal.
Welcome him back.
Yes, I feel like he's on every week. Miami was trailing Louisville 38-31. There was 1:40 left. They had all 3 timeouts. It was 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Clock was stopped. Cristobal decided to use a timeout to talk about the 4th down play. And y'all know how I feel about that. And guess what?
That's a 10 by nature.
Yeah. Louisville, guess what? Was able to run the clock down to 18 seconds when Miami got the ball back. Miami could have had the ball with 58 seconds. Instead, they got it with 18. You don't think that made a difference?
It did. It did.
10, John? Where you going?
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? Really, for him, that's an 11 because he's routinely a 10. So when he goes above and beyond, you got to ratchet it up to 11.
He's like a 10 higher. If you could just rate what's the scale of average dumb decisions on a weekly basis?
Can we call this the Mario Cristobal segment? I would really be in favor of that.
Yeah.
I think we should. A couple more. Guys, we got an old SEC guy to come in for this one. Gus Malzahn made the list this week with UCF. So here was a great one. This was epic. UCF lost to Texas Tech 24-23. At the end of the first half, they had the ball 2nd and goal at the Texas Tech 5 with 12 seconds. No timeouts. Now, 12 seconds, you probably have time to run maybe 2 plays, throw it into the end zone, right?
Yes.
Gus Malzahn
and his plays, sure.
In Gus Malzahn's incessant brilliance, he calls a shovel pass that is tackled at the line of scrimmage, so the clock runs out and they don't even get a field goal out of it.
There's no in between with a shovel pass. You either look brilliant or really stupid.
I know. When it doesn't work, Dave, isn't it the worst looking play ever?
Yeah. And they do that on the jet sweep thing too, where they'll pitch it forward. So that way, technically, it's a pass. So if you have a bad exchange, it's an incomplete pass, but it still just makes you look dumb.
So 10 guys, come on, you have to throw it into the end zone.
I'll give it to
surely.
That was definitely a treasure. Brought to you by Sports Treasures, carrying over 5 million sports treasures and so much more. Follow on Facebook for the best sports memorabilia, daily updates, Facebook Sports Treasures TN. Yeah, that was a treasure of a dumb move. Sports Treasure.
It was
right there in North Knoxville.
It was reminiscent of the Titans in the Super Bowl deciding, let's throw a pass to Dyson short of the end zone. That's just so smart, Jeff Fisher. Okay, sorry, that's my rant on Jeff Fisher because I can't stand him.
Wow, that was hostility.
Who was the halftime performer at that Super Bowl? Do you remember, John? Do you remember?
1999.
I was at the Super Bowl, but my gosh, it was 25 years ago. Who was a halftime?
Yeah. Check that out for me because I remember not being.
Oh, Christina Aguilera and Enrique Iglesias. Oh, I totally forgot about.
Wow.
I love Christina though.
They really went all out on that one.
Yeah.
All right.
If my media seat hadn't been the highest row in section 330, maybe I would have seen some of it. But it took me 30 minutes to get to the restroom and back. All right.
But you
And
I
Tina
didn't
Turner
miss much.
performed at the opening of the Super Bowl that year too, which was since she's from Tennessee, that was a good decision.
I can't wait to see her perform one day.
Was that a joke? Because I don't think you're ever going to see her perform one day. Okay, so
Very inappropriate.
number one though is yes, it's I know I'm a Terp grad, but at the same time, you had to watch. You couldn't ignore this game against Michigan on Saturday. I give Mike Locksley a lot of credit. He brought back the quarterback sneak. He ran 4 quarterback sneaks on 3 goal line plays, and I was standing up and applauding him, saying, "Amazing job, Mike Locksley." But in the loss to Michigan, Maryland has the ball on their own 1 yard line. It's 3rd and 18. The play clock is running down. Guys, a delay of game is a half-yard penalty because you're on your own 1 yard line. Mike Locksley burns a timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty. and by the way, Michigan was able to run out the clock in the end because Maryland was short a timeout. So yeah, he burned a timeout to avoid a half-yard penalty.
See, I think all of your picks today have been very consistent. I mean, they're all upper level.
Yeah,
I think in terms of stupidity.
No, I agree. Caleb's throwing high heat.